We're recording. Hi.
Hello, good morning, afternoon, evening.
How are we doing today? This is the Cosmic Joke. We're going to start our Ascension Symptoms process for the 18th today. I'm going to express mine from what I am feeling. Number one, since September 17th, we're going through a new Merkaba upgrade. Okay. Those of us that are anchoring the ascension frequencies, the downloads, the codes that are coming through, we are being upgraded to an ultraviolet ray Merkaba vehicle. This is the 6th upgrade. October will be the 7th until they want to further from there, but we're going up to 7 upgrades. So these are going to be different upgrades. I'm sorry, 7 different upgrades that we're going to be going through that are going to be different vehicles. Okay. So the ultraviolet, so we're clearing, if you think about it, we've been doing a major light body activation too, because every single Merkaba vehicle and every single time we upgrade, we're going through another light body upgrade. Yeah. So have you seen that? Because I saw the ultraviolet ray, and then of course I got the download on the 17th. They're like, this is what's going on. This is what, this is the upgrade you're going through right now. I kept seeing, of course, the ultraviolet everywhere, but they're like, this is a new vehicle. So we could do new programming. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm going to give it another day and then start writing down the programming. Just actually go in and start programming, reprogramming or rewriting what I want to rewrite in this new upgrade. And then I know in October, hold on. Okay, the 15th of October is when we're going to have our 7th upgrade. Okay, and it should stay there. Okay, they're saying that it's going to stay there for about 6 months. Okay, so it's going to be only 7, and then we'll have gain access to the next 7. Oh, cool. So 14. Awesome. No wonder I've seen that number all the time. So they're saying it's going to be up to 14. So I'm excited about it. My ascension symptoms so far in the past couple days, root chakra, big time. Big root chakra where you can actually feel it. It feels like something is holding on to your tailbone, your butt. I got like something just going, like you could feel it in there. And then I started feeling it actually in the sacral, but all the organs in the sacral. Okay. And because I'm a woman, so it's all, all my ovaries and everything, could feel it in there too as well. The solar plexus also. So the solar plexus too is going through an upgrade because we're actually going on to a new shield. Okay. So because we're upgrading, we have new shields that are activating too as well. Yes, the golden, they call it the golden shield, golden fleece shield. It's something also. Okay. So we have new shields coming on too, and then we also have rainbow diamond light codes that are coming through too as well. So we have a lot of upgrades that are coming. I've been working with the blue flame that has to do with the Mother Arc download. I've been doing that for almost about 2 weeks now and working with that and anchoring that in too.
That was attached to this with the 6th Merkaba. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's and I've been working with that, which makes a lot of sense because I'm still clearing, massive in my lower chakras. And now that I actually look at it, and then also my relationship with my daughter. So that right there came into, and it just made so much sense when I was like, okay, this is what I'm working through right now. And then all relationships too, because we can't, it's the cosmic trinity is, they keep going back to it, is that we have to find complete union within ourselves. Everything is internally. So if there's separation and duality inward, even like the relationships or how we look at everything, then it's going to be the external. So it's just massive work into becoming unity with yourself. And then that way your external looks, the reality on the outside is pretty much the same. You want to match. So.
True. Yeah. And the thing is, the opportunity for the 7th Merkaba to come online is October 15th. It doesn't mean everybody's going to get hit with it. Again, These are a progression. And so if you're still in your 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, that is perfectly okay because you were in divine timing of where you are with what work that you've done and what is right for you and your genetics. Because again, this also comes down to a genetic thing of how much genetic clearing have you done, you know, how much clearing, you know, what else is your physical body carrying. So the differences on the Merkaba, I mean, it's like we call it it's a vehicle. I mean, it is, because it's like our force field, and they change out. I'll never forget the first time, like when I popped into the gold one and then the diamond one, and it was like, oh, this is freaking amazing. And it is. It's like the control systems are different. So as like we talked about before, the chakras of, you know, 54 or however many, all of that is also built into your Merkaba vehicle. So as we are upgrading through our light bodies, which is necessary, it's what we have to do. We have to go through each level of the clearing and integrating with, you know, the physical form. That as we go through these bodies, that is what basically activates within the Merkaba the programs, the workings of what can be done. So then when those, you know, 12 connections, 24 connections, whatever it is, when you've got those cleared and your next Merkaba comes online, then that assists in working through the other light bodies that are now available and accessed through that Merkaba. So yeah, I mean, it's really exciting to think, but again, they're not going to throw you into, you know, your seventh Merkaba if you are still working on clearing some of your lower bodies, you know, through the first 12 or through the first, you know, 20 at this point. So that is exciting from that standpoint, because it does give us an additional boost of, you have that unity feel, you know, that, you know, you're really getting it. And we all, not all, I can't say we all, I still have occasions of where the human jumps up. I mean, in this ascension, whatever wave that we've gone through for the last couple of days, I have an anger come up like unbelievably. And it would be like just this rolling anger that was coming up. And like we discussed, it's like, I don't have a particular reason for what I'm angry for, but it's just coming up. And I'm doing my best constantly to not place blame, to not make an excuse, to not say, well, this is why this is happening. It just feels as though, like, through the clearing process, when we do upgrade the Merkabas, they are so programmed as our shields, as our force field, that it has programmed in the energetic energies that need to be moved. I mean, it knows energetics. That's what it is. It's all energetics. Yep. So as we're going through, it's like it's our assistant. It helps us. It moves us along through where we're going. And I do see this seventh one as violet, but it's a different shade of violet, because we're used to, you know, the violet fire. We do the transmutation, and it's a different color on the violet spectrum, which is really kind of cool. And then because we went from the green into the violet, this color violet, which is not really, I don't even know if there's another color for it, but violet we understand. And then they're showing me that.
Go ahead.
They're showing me that the next one, the seventh one, is back into the pink ranges again. Yeah. So we're back into the pink iridescent, you know.
It looks like an in-between. They're saying it looks like an in-between between the blue and the violet, which makes sense, because for the past 2 weeks I've been doing violet flame throughout my body and then doing blue flames. So I've been working with both of those flames, you know, like over and over, setting them up every single day. Okay, and yes, I'm going to mention that. So we have a 17th D shield that's also coming online. Now this is like you said, this is for it's the way that they explain it is these are coming online for the frontliners right now. Okay. Yes. And the ones that are actually receiving and anchoring these codes and you know, the guinea pigs. Like they sit there and say, as far as like what our mission that we came in here to do, this was our mission to go through these upgrades, you know, for the collectives. So that's what they're explaining right now, that we're actually here to transmute and then anchor them in, and then, you know, through the collectives, that way we can do everything collectively. So
right. And a lot of this anger that's coming up does seem to be from the collective. Yeah. And those of us that are doing clearing for the collective, it's just an understanding of, okay, there's a lot of people right now that are generating a lot of stuff and a lot of anger, and we just clear it for them. Yeah. Because it's like, you know, we're helping us. We're helping all of us. It's all one us anyway, which I know we all say we're all one, but we are. I mean, it's all one energy. So if we just keep clearing.
Yeah, that's actually coming to a halt too. Something that they said, oh, we won't be clearing anymore for the collectives. That's because we've been transmuting so much. We've done the ones that are actually doing it have done a fabulous job. Just put it that way. It's like it's not as of necessary to keep doing it. That they'll be able. There's new ones that are becoming online to be able to do that. The way they show it to me is in different sections, like the different generations, the different the different ones that are waking up, which explains the anger coming up that we're feeling. Right, is also we just had another mass awakening. So what is the first thing that happens when we start waking up? We become angry.
We get angry. I know.
So
well, the potential end date for for a lot of this, for the majority of all of this stuff that they've given me was 3/22/20. So for whatever reason, they're saying 3/22. So by next March we're pretty much should be through all of that. That's the proposed timeline. Of course, we know it changes. If we could do it faster, which would be great, or we could do it slower if we take some back steps, but 3/22/20 is the projected end date for having the majority of the people awake and have the basic first 4 bodies cleared.
Okay.
Is what I'm being told, which would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So then by that point, everyone should at least be able to access the first or second Merkabas at that point.
Yeah.
Which is going to be beautiful.
I know. I'm excited. To me, that's probably why they keep pushing. They're pushing us to want to do a workshop for programming Merkabas. I could probably do the activations. You can too, just by sitting there, because that's what we do. We're just present. We just download people. Like there's no tomorrow. But you're really great with the programming. So if we can at least get them through maybe like a first course class and then going into the second course class, maybe doing 2 classes is what they're showing me, just for like the beginners and then for more advanced programming.
That's good.
That's something they were talking about, which makes a lot of sense, because if we have new people coming online right now, they're going to need the 1 and 2s.
Right. And for all of us, once you've got 1 and 2, it doesn't matter how much higher you go because you've got the basics. Once we got through, programming our second Merkaba and worked out wording and some of the crazy things that we would talk about back and forth of like, oh, I got to revise that.
Yeah.
And, then you've got it.
I'm going to do this. And then you're sitting back going, this is going to be fun. I actually want to get into programming again. That's something I'm going to be doing this week. Also, people need to know what they're going to experience during this process when their light body starts getting activated. Okay, that right there is very intense and also could be very scary if you do not know what's going on in your body. It depends on how fast that you're being completely upgraded, because you also need to burn off karma too, which is complete heat in the body
and not generate more.
Yeah. Okay. Those are things that need to be taught. Also, just going back, because they want me just to verify this, between the new ones that were going on, we had the blue. So the blue is the 4th, the green upgrade is the 5th, and then the 6th one that we're going on to, it's still Diamond Merkaba. They're saying that it's still Diamond Merkaba. It's just it's massive upgrades in different vehicles. And that's because you have to do the 1 and 2, you have the golden, and then you can go on to the diamond, right? Okay.
Correct. Yeah. And the difference is hue frequency. That's why we see it as a different color, because it's just a different frequency. And because of our eyes and the way that they show it to us, so that we feel like we're doing something more and progressing, which we are. It is just a frequency change.
Yeah. That's it.
I know.
Another thing that's really coming online right now is super consciousness. Massive. People are going to be coming on to their super consciousness and telepathy. So our telepathic abilities. Yes, we are telepathic. We've always been telepathic. We were shut down. Okay. So, and that's how it's all frequency receiving too at the same time. But the telepathy and telepathic abilities is really enhancing right now, is what they're explaining, where you're actually able to hear, you know, like an actual like voice, you know, like sitting, you know, you can start hearing the people, like, you know, thoughts, or just people that you're really connected to, or your children, and you're actually are going to start
feel them.
Yes, because telepathy, and this is something that I try to explain to people, telepathy and empathy, being empathic, go hand in hand. It's, to me, the same ability. It's just when you actually start hearing the mind to mind, you know, that could be a little freaky, you know, at first. But to me, I believe telepathy and empath is the same. And that's just my experience. Because you're able, because telepathy is feeling, telepathy is hearing. You're taking on that person's frequency and be able to see how they feel and stuff like that. It's
They
often,
are the,
go ahead.
sorry. Well, they are very similar, and they are in the same family, because with empathy, we know that we are feeling something from a person energetically. We know how they feel. We can get into what's going on with them. The telepathy is actually the next level of empathy from that standpoint, because it's a two-way connection. So now we have that ability of, yes, I feel what you feel, I see what you see, you know, I hear, I'm exactly in your space, knowing exactly what's going on with you. And the one thing that my crew has said is, with the telepathy really, really coming online, is as things come up, which they do, like you say, you hear someone, you walk by someone and you're like, you know exactly what they just thought or what was going on, because you feel it and you hear it. Clear it, clear it. All of the stuff that comes up, because we're going to be hearing a lot of stuff, and instead of reacting, instead of getting upset, instead of getting mad at the person for where they are, we clear it.
Yeah.
It's like that extra next level gift of, wow, I love you, and right now I can tell you are not doing too well. So let me clear that, because what I clear for you, I clear for me, you know, etc.
Yeah.
And that becomes the biggest thing with the telepathy, because as it's coming online, you're right, it's freaky. And at times you're like, I wish I could just turn it off, because I don't really want to know what's going on around me right now. But it is a next level responsibility of clearing.
Yeah.
Because that's what we want. We want this huge bubble completely clear of everything. And if I'm gifted with someone in my presence that's mucking it up, it's my job to clear it. Because I can. Because I can.
Yeah, I wish you were with me in like 2013. I was like, to be able to explain that one to me, because that was hard.
I wouldn't have had a full knowing in 2013.
It's not just because of their projections. It's actually hard to let it go what you're hearing or feeling, especially if it's directed at you, because it's not really who they are. And that's something that was taught to me by my guides. Even when I could hear and I could feel it, I had to learn how to realize it's not really who they are, especially when it's directed at you, or you have projections that are directed at you. It's kind of like you just got to let it go. And it is really tough to walk around with that ability and to know what people are feeling or thinking of you, really, you know. So it's that right there is, that's another advanced step of mastery, where you have to sit there and just let it, you got to learn how to let it go and not let it affect you. But at this point, we could use it as a clearing tool. Okay, that's fine. I was like, that's a great idea.
Because the other part of it is, that's not me. Whatever it is that they're projecting is a reflection of them and where they are. So they can say whatever they want to about me. If it's not me, it's not me.
Yep.
And I'm not going to take that on. So it does not that I even have to forget about it or ignore it or clear it or do anything to it, because it doesn't affect me. And that's the other part of our mastery that we're really being pushed for, is I stand in my frequency. I know who I am, and it really doesn't matter what your viewpoint is, because that's your viewpoint. I know my frequency, and I will either take it on and look at why we've had that interaction, why that might have happened, why you might feel that way. But again, it's more from just a energetic standpoint of what's going on. What is this, the string between us that's being vibrating, that's activating, that causes to be an issue? Because if I have a reaction, or if I have anything within me, that means that there's at least one cell in my body that still resonates with whatever that is. That's the whole point of having, you know, some rude people in our lives, actually, is to stimulate within our physical forms what is there that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah. And that's the frequency. That's what they're saying. If you actually rise above what you're hearing, it's actually that something's still on a cellular level, you know, frequency match on you. So if you go in and clear it, then that's where you want to track those frequencies, because we're all frequencies. So when they say you want to track those frequencies, they're talking about people, you know, your everyday relationships too.
Partially, you'll still, it's not that you're attracting that. It's not, you're not going to get rid of being in that situation. If you've got, you know, a rude person and they're angry, just because I don't resonate with what they're saying, or it doesn't have a reaction, I don't have a physical reaction, doesn't mean that's going to completely remove them from my reality. Because at some point, we're also noticing that I am clearing that. I'm not triggered anymore. I don't have a reaction. And it goes into, I have compassion. I have a whole nother level of what I can see in someone else to be able to clear. And I'm not emotionally involved in the situation. So it's not that it's going to make them magically disappear, because it's always going to be there until we don't have that duality on our planet. So it's like, yes, they will still be brought before you. And it's not that I attracted it to me. It's not that I resonate with it. It becomes at that point of mastery where I am so good at clearing it that you're actually bombarded with more to clear. Because, hey, here's the eraser. Just go stand in front of the eraser. And you're like, oh, great, come on. But you get to the point where you're going, I see what's going on. I see that this is happening. I don't take it personally. It has nothing to do with me. I don't resonate. I'm not reacting. I'm not triggered by the person. I just clear it and let them go on their way.
Yeah. Well, okay. Do you have anything else?
No, just, no, I think we're good.
Yeah.
It's intense times.
Yeah. It's not as intense as it was a month ago. So I'm pretty much, I'm just like, for me anyways, it's pretty good, which is good. It's smooth sailing for right now.
Awesome.
So everybody else, you know, everyone's different. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, we've all had a different life. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So we all have different things to clear. But yeah, that's it for today. That's all I have. Bye.
All right, see you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.